What if Simba never met Timon and Pumbaa? That right there, I felt like would turn the story into such a dark, grittier version of Simba. If you like this type of concept and content, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers, and you, yes you, the person that clicked on this video because it looked interesting, it sounded interesting, hit the subscribe button for me, and I'll appreciate the support. All right, let's get into this theory.
I wandered the savannah alone, my only companions the creatures of the land. The jungle that once felt like a safe haven now felt like a battlefield, with dangers lurking around every corner. I had to rely on myself for survival, learning to hunt with skill and cunning, but the cost of this independence was loneliness and isolation. I became increasingly withdrawn, doubting anyone I met. I began to believe that my presence only brought harm, a burden to those around me. As time went on, my isolation took a toll on me mentally and emotionally. Without the lightheartedness of friends to keep me company, I developed a more serious and brooding demeanor. I spent most of my time alone, lost in thought and consumed by my guilt over Mufasa's death. I had nightmares regularly, flashbacks to that dark moment in the past. Scar's words echoed through my mind, accusing me, making me question my worthiness as king. I roamed the vast savannah, a lone figure traversing the sun-baked land. My only companion was the sound of the wind rustling through the tall grass. I spent my days stalking my prey, relying solely on my instincts and wits to survive. My hunting skills were unparalleled, honed by necessity and honed over time. However, my isolation took a toll on me. I became more withdrawn, wary of any sign of life, convinced that my very presence brought danger to others. I began to avoid meeting with others, too afraid to let them close and risking their safety. As the years rolled by, I transformed into a hardened and solitary hunter, a force to be reckoned with in the wild. Other creatures respected and feared me, recognizing my prowess in both physical ability and hunting skills. Yet, despite my physical strength, I avoided forming social bonds. My conscience haunted me, making me feel unworthy of the friendship others could offer. I encountered others along the way, perhaps a passing group of lions, but chose to keep to myself, avoiding the potential pain of rejection or betrayal. My isolation allowed me to further develop my fighting skills, honing my abilities and sharpening my senses. Without a moral compass or support system, my life had become a never-ending stream of hunting, surviving, and avoiding others. My sense of purpose dwindled, and I began to wonder if this solitary life was truly sustainable. I was a king without a kingdom, a leader without a pride. The weight of my past and the absence of friends and allies began to wear me down. After years of living a solitary life, news of Scar's tyranny reached my ears. Rumors whispered in the wind, told by the occasional traveler I encountered. Scar's rule had devastated the Pride Lands, leaving behind a devastated and lifeless kingdom. One day, I encountered Rafiki, the wise mandrill. He spoke of my father's legacy and urged me to reclaim my place as king. Though I hesitated, feeling reluctant to get involved, a flicker of duty reignited within me. However, my return was not driven by a desire to honor my father's dream or save my pride. My reasons for confronting Scar were fueled by a mix of vengeance and survival instinct. The primal need to confront the source of my guilt and pain burned within me. I wanted to end Scar's reign of terror, not just to restore balance to the Pride Lands, but also to silence the voice in my mind that whispered that my existence brought harm to those around me. My confrontation with Scar was unlike any other we had previously had. No longer the playful cub, I had grown into a fierce and calculating lion. Scar attempted to manipulate and deceive me, but my hardened demeanor made me immune to his mind games. As we clashed, it was a brutal battle. Our fight was less of a strategic war and more of a primal struggle, reflecting the inner conflict I harbored within myself. In the climactic moment, I overpowered Scar, but hesitated to deliver the final blow. Rafiki's words echoed in my mind, reminding me that a real king rules with wisdom. Despite the anger and vengeance I felt, I knew I could not let those emotions win. I chose to spare Scar, exiling him instead. This act of mercy marked a significant turning point in my emotional healing journey. It was the first step towards accepting Mufasa's legacy and embracing my true nature as a king. Returning as king, I was faced with a massive challenge, rebuilding Pride Rock and bringing back the former pride it once was. My years spent in solitude made it hard for me to connect with the pride at first, but after time, I began to understand the value of being around others and forgiving. Even though my journey was a darker and more difficult path without Timon and Pumbaa, I emerged a stronger and more self-reliant king. My reign was defined by resilience, shaped by the tough lessons I'd learned in the wild. Pride Rock slowly began to flourish once more under my rule. I learned to accept others into my life, slowly building trust and developing bonds. The pride I once found myself isolated from became a team of loyal allies, and together, we restored the beauty and strength of the Pride Lands.
This is crazy. This is exactly what I felt like it would turn out to be. The dark, the grittier, him being alone, not trusting, but still ultimately coming back to Pride Land and taking up the throne of King. What do y'all think? Do y'all enjoy this theory? Let me know in the comments. And y'all stay safe.